just know that students love what he does for them, and that to me says more than anything.
We try to find the largest auditoriums for his classes, and if we could find bigger ones, there'd be more students signing up. I mean, we can fill every seat in the room for Frank.
If you go on any website, you know, Rate My Professor, anything like that, it's probably one of, if not the most highly recommended class to take at Penn State.
When his class came up as the best class to take at Penn State, my advisor told me there's no way you're going to get in that class as a freshman. So I was bound and determined to.
One of my friends actually took Frank's class my freshman year, my fall semester, and every time he would come out of that class, he would have this look on his face just like, oh my God, that was amazing.
I heard that this guy was just an incredible storyteller, and I really realized it the first day I went into class when at the end of class, everyone got up and was just like, wow, that was awesome. This is what class is going to be like. And the guy sitting in front of me actually got up and said, turned around to me and he said, I actually took this class last semester. I'm not even in it anymore. I just come to hear Frank talk.
When I was your age, I had a friend named George. And George was, he probably was the most accomplished kid I knew. First of all, he was good looking.
He actually teaches you through his stories.
I've often described him as Garrison Keillor on steroids, in the sense that his stories are more punchy, powerful.
His stories really relate to every single person in there.
Some reason I was able to intuit, I don't know, I wasn't that smart, but I was able to intuit that my life would never be the same. As I saw Donnie, I didn't care whether I went to Chicago or I went to New York. It didn't make any difference to me. And I knew that moment wasn't going to last forever. I knew that I would never be that free again.
He talks about himself from the heart, and that's something I think people really do, and especially students really do appreciate and connect with.
Of all the things I've ever done, and I've done a fair amount, I've worn a lot of hats in my life. But the most important hat I ever wore was being a father. And it's a full-time job. It's not once every month or once every week. It's every day. It's 24/7. And it don't stop when they're 18, by the way. It goes on forever. It's a role that's you should be proud to have and honored to have. And it's a role, it seems to me, that, I said in my class before, if you have the balls to have a kid, you ought to have the balls to stay with that kid, to be with that kid when they need you, when she needs you. Because what's quality time with your kid? It's not texting saying, good luck on the test. That's not quality. Quality time is when they got 102 fever, or when they're throwing up, or when they got the diarrhea, or when they have a broken arm. That's quality time. It's quality time the night before Easter when, you know, your daughter wants you to come up and look under the bed because she's been thinking, maybe there really is an Easter bunny. The next generation of fathers is sitting in this room. I teach the perfect course for it. I mean, if you're teaching nuclear engineering, you can't talk about the things I do. What are you going to do? Talk about the life of an atom? I mean, it just doesn't work. So I have the right course for me. It's about experience. It's about learning. It's about being a full human being.
Frank's one of those people that I was secretly hoping would never retire.
It's really hard for me to imagine Frank retired.
I fundamentally had 3 careers at Penn State. First of all, as a researcher.
I can remember as a graduate student myself reading articles in top journals by Frank Clemente, and that's the way I thought of him.
And then the department head retired. I became department head for 12 years, and I really got into being the department head.
Most of our students now don't know him as an administrator. He was head of this department for 13 years, I think, and he really brought it forward in major strides.
He has a spine. Back in the day, there were some tough personnel decisions that had to be made to move the department forward, and you know, Frank was willing to do that.
His tenure as department head was incredibly successful and important. He really launched us on the road to, as our dean is fond of saying now, national prominence. Part of his ability to move the department ahead was to convince the faculty that they could do better.
It's that sort of can-do approach that has benefited the department, but it shows up in other areas of his life.
Success is related to taking a chance in most cases. People will try to keep you from taking chances. They want to keep you safe. They want to keep you in a little corner. They want everything to be nice. They want it to be comfortable for you. They want you to be safe because at the same time, it's comfortable and safe for them.
I knew Frank as an administrator, never imagining that this administrator was actually also a teacher. Not many people can wear those two hats, and not many people can do those two jobs and do them well.
You really learn from him, and you learn about life.
You know, stuff I'm going to apply to my career, how to crunch a few numbers, yeah, those are going to be helpful skills, but, you know, learning how to be a good person and being a good man and, you know, just the simple rules on how to, you know, treat other people are something that I think are invaluable lessons, something that you can't learn from a book, something you can only learn from word of mouth and from stories that, you know, guys like Frank have.
Because a lot of times once he's done with his lectures, you sit back and you think how you're going to use his lessons and how it's applying to your life right now and how it will apply to your life later. So it's very important for me.
Make sure that you make those decisions for yourself. Follow your own dream. If you can't follow your own dream when you're 21 years old, then please tell me when you're going to follow it.
As a teacher, to change one person's life is the biggest thing you can do. And I think he's really had that impact with his class on several students.
I know I felt that I was being touched personally, and I didn't even realize there was hundreds of people around me. He really is reaching out, even though it's the stories that are touching us.
Sometimes what we learn in college gets lost behind all the books that we're reading, the tests that we're taking, and the papers, and students forget why they're learning, what they're here for, which is to develop into a better person.
When you take the high road, nobody can get above you. It's a position of strength. You're always looking down at everybody else. It's a road that you should always try to strive toward. It's not always easy, and you can't always get there. But it's the high road. And it's one of power. It's one where you say to yourself, here's what I stand for, and here I stand.
He's got a real gift for inspiring and leading and opening people up to the adventure of life, really.
Now, I finally have come to the end of my road at Penn State, and you have heard the saying many times that the first step of a long journey begins with one step, with an initial step. And now I can attest that it ends with one as well. So I want to thank you for coming, and can't imagine how touched I am by the number of people that came today, and wish everybody to have a just simply wonderful life. Thanks for coming.
Thousands upon thousands of students that are walking around with his ideas and his wisdom and his vision. We can't measure that, but that's a legacy.
I didn't have a plan when I got here, but retiring as a person that was regarded as an excellent teacher was probably the furthest thing from my mind. That was not in my plan. But it turned out that it was a joy that was waiting to be found.
That special bond that he can create, it's something we're going to miss, I'll tell you.
Even though I know that he's not going to remember my name, maybe tomorrow he's not going to remember my name 5 years down the line, but just knowing that in that moment he was there with me listening means a lot.
Frank, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to work with you and get to know you. And I'm always a phone call away if you ever need anything. Just thank you again for giving me the opportunity to be a part of your life.
what you've done to shape my perspective and my way of looking at the world truly is inspiring, and it inspires me to go out there and do as much as I can and to be the best person I can be.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to take away more lessons from your class than any of my other classes here at Penn State for sure. And I would be certainly one of the students that you might not remember me when I come up to say hi, but I will certainly remember you.
You've done incredible things for all of your students, and we really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much for making everyone better at this university.
He'll never really leave Penn State because there's so many people here like me that are passionate about what he's taught them and, you know, seek to carry that out with them for the rest of their lives.
Thank you so much.